Your limits, they're lies you've been told and ones you've believed. It's time to kill the comparison, silence the excuses, and evolve. Comfort zones won't build your legacy. Perfection won't show up. You will. Every day, beast mode, no days off. Because with the right mindset, discipline, and relentless action, winning becomes inevitable. The boundaries you perceive in life are not real, they are simply the walls your mind has built to protect you from fear and uncertainty. The true limits of what you can achieve exist only within your mind. Once you challenge and overcome those mental barriers, you will realize there are no real constraints. Your potential is limitless, it's only your beliefs that keep you confined. The mind is a powerful tool. It can either hold you back or propel you forward. When you believe you can't do something, you unconsciously create a mental block. But when you decide that limitations are just illusions, you unlock a whole new realm of possibilities. Your greatest achievements are on the other side of mental resistance. Push past fear, push past doubt, and break through those self-imposed limits. Growth happens when you stretch your mind beyond what you thought was possible. Limits are only mental. And once you start challenging them, you will be surprised at how much more you can accomplish. The only real limit is the one you accept, so don't accept it. When you truly believe in your success, the world begins to align with your vision. Belief is the foundation of achievement. Without it, your efforts will be scattered, but with unwavering belief, your actions become purposeful, relentless, and unstoppable. What you believe shapes your reality. And when you act on that belief with confidence, obstacles start to dissolve. Belief isn't just about thinking positively, it's about taking aligned action toward your goals. If you believe in your ability to win, you will make decisions that are consistent with that belief. Your actions become a natural extension of your belief, and with every step, you move closer to your victory. When your mind is certain of success, the universe opens doors for you that were once closed. But belief alone isn't enough, it's the combination of belief and consistent, focused action that brings results. Act like you're already winning. Every step you take, every decision you make, reinforces your belief. Your actions send a clear message to the world that you're ready for success, and this sends out the energy that attracts the opportunities, people, and results you need to win. You can't help but win when you believe in your success and consistently act on that belief. The power of unwavering belief, combined with relentless action, creates an unstoppable force. When you commit fully to your vision, the path to victory becomes inevitable. Believe in your power and act as if success is your destiny. Because it is. In every moment of hardship, you're faced with two choices: give up or get up. When life throws obstacles in your path, it's easy to be consumed by doubt, to think that giving up will bring you peace. But giving up is the easiest option, and it leads to regret, missed opportunities, and unfulfilled potential. Giving up means you're choosing to let the challenges define you. It's surrendering to circumstances that could have been overcome. But there's a different choice, the harder one: to get up. When you rise from the ground, when you refuse to stay down, you take control of your destiny. Getting up means you're choosing growth, strength, and resilience. Every time you decide to push through, you build not only your muscles but your character. You prove to yourself that no matter the setback, you have the power to move forward. The true measure of your strength isn't in avoiding failure, but in how you respond to it. You either get up or stay down, and the decision to get up will always lead to growth, progress, and eventual victory. So, when life knocks you down, remember this: you always have two choices: give up or get up. And getting up is always the choice that leads you to your greatest triumphs. Keep rising, keep fighting, and never give up. Your mindset is the single most powerful factor that will determine whether you succeed or fail. The way you think shapes the way you act, and the way you act determines the results you get. Your mindset is the lens through which you see the world, and it can either limit you or propel you to greatness. When you adopt a growth mindset, you see challenges as opportunities, setbacks as lessons, and effort as a pathway to improvement. You don't shy away from difficulties, you embrace them, knowing they're the very things that will mold you into the person you need to be to achieve your dreams. But if you allow a fixed mindset to take hold, you will believe that your abilities are limited and that your current circumstances define your future. You might give up when things get tough, or avoid taking risks, because you'll fear failure instead of viewing it as a stepping stone to growth. The power of your mind is either your greatest asset or your biggest barrier. Your mindset creates your reality. If you believe you can succeed, if you have an unwavering belief in your abilities, you will start to act with confidence, courage, and persistence. You will take risks, overcome obstacles, and make progress where others might quit. Success doesn't come from external circumstances, it comes from the thoughts you cultivate and the decisions you make based on those thoughts. The way you think has the power to shape your destiny. Shift your mindset, and everything else will follow. So ask yourself, are you choosing to build a mindset of strength, possibility, and resilience? Because your mindset is everything, it's the foundation of your success. Cultivate a positive, empowering mindset, and the world will open up to you. A powerful mindset isn't built overnight. It's forged through consistent practice, unwavering confidence, unbreakable strength, and an insatiable ambition to rise above any challenge. These four elements, discipline, confidence, strength, and ambition, are the pillars that support your journey to success. When combined, they create a mindset that is unstoppable, one that can face any adversity and still push forward. Discipline is the backbone of progress. It's the ability to stay focused and committed, even when the initial excitement fades or when the path gets tough. Discipline ensures that you show up every day, whether you feel like it or not. It's the consistency that turns your actions into habits, your habits into results, and those results into success. Without discipline, all the talent, dreams, and potential in the world are wasted. Discipline breeds mastery, and mastery leads to achievement. Confidence isn't just about believing in yourself, it's about trusting your ability to adapt, learn, and conquer. Confidence is the quiet force that propels you forward, even when others doubt you. With confidence, you walk into every challenge with the belief that you can handle whatever comes your way. Confidence doesn't mean you're invincible, it means you know your worth and your potential, and you won't let fear hold you back. Strength is the capacity to endure, the will to keep going when everything inside of you is telling you to stop. It's the mental toughness that refuses to crumble under pressure, the emotional fortitude that helps you rise after every fall. Strength is about developing a mindset that can weather storms, whether those storms are failures, doubts, or the world telling you can't. It's the inner power that says, I will keep moving forward, no matter. Ambition is the fuel that drives you. It's the relentless hunger to achieve, to do better, to become more. Ambition pushes you to aim higher, to step outside your comfort zone, and to challenge the limits that others impose on you. Ambition makes you hungry for success, not just for yourself, but for what you can achieve and what you can contribute. It's what turns your dreams into a mission and your goals into reality. When you blend these four forces together, discipline, confidence, strength, and ambition, you create a mindset that is powerful, resilient, and unstoppable. This mindset doesn't just wait for a success. It actively pursues it, faces challenges head-on, and learns from every experience. With this powerful mindset, no obstacle is too great, no dream is too far, and no setback is permanent. You become the architect of your own future, and with the right mindset, the sky is the limit. In today's world, it's easy to fall into the trap of comparing yourself to others. Social media, your peers, even strangers on the street, all these external influences seem to define what success should look like. But here's the truth: you are your only competition. The moment you realize that, you take back your power and focus on what really matters: your personal growth, your journey, and your goals. The moment you start comparing your life to someone else's, you begin to lose sight of your own path. Your journey is unique to you, with its own challenges, strengths, and timeline. What works for others may not work for you, and that's okay. Don't measure your success by anyone else's achievements. Your only benchmark should be your own growth. Comparing yourself to others can cause unnecessary stress, self-doubt, and even resentment. You may start feeling inadequate or frustrated when you don't match up to someone else's success or pace. Comparison breeds self-judgment, not progress. It can paralyze you, leaving you stuck in a cycle of feeling less than and chasing someone else's dreams rather than your own. Remember, their success doesn't take away from yours. It has no bearing on your journey. Your true competition isn't someone else, it's the person you were yesterday. Every day is an opportunity to outdo yourself, to be better, stronger, wiser, and more focused than you were before. Set your goals not based on where others are, but based on where you were and where you want to go. The only progress that matters is your own. Every small win, every ounce of progress, is a victory over your former self. Everyone has a different path to follow. Some people may seem to have it all together. But remember, you don't know their struggles, their backstory, or their sacrifices. Your story is yours alone, and only you know how far you've come and how much you've grown. Rather than comparing, celebrate the strides you've made and the lessons you've learned. Success is not a race. It's a journey of self-mastery. The real power comes from embracing who you are, not who you think you should be based on someone else's life. You're not meant to fit into a mold. You're meant to break it. You have your own strengths, your own vision, and your own pace. Your value isn't defined by anyone else's timeline or achievements. Embrace your individuality and make your path a reflection of your unique gifts and ambitions. Focus on your own growth and let others do the same. The more energy you spend comparing, the less energy you have for creating and improving. Stay focused on what you can control: your actions, your mindset, and your goals. Keep pushing forward, step by step, and celebrate every little victory along the way. Don't get distracted by someone else's journey. In the end, the only comparison that truly matters is comparing who you were yesterday to who you are today. When you stop competing with others and focus on becoming the best version of yourself, you unlock your true potential. You are your only competition. Everything else is just noise. Fear often shows up in sneaky ways. It doesn't always present itself as something obvious, like anxiety or hesitation. Sometimes it disguises itself as practicality, convincing us that the safe choice is the only sensible one. But here's the truth: practicality is often just fear in disguise, holding us back from the life we truly desire. We've all been there, staying in our comfort zone because it feels practical and secure. It's familiar, it's safe, and it requires no risk. But that very comfort is often what keeps us from growing. The fear of stepping into the unknown tells us that change isn't practical, that we should stick to what we know. But here's the kicker. Growth doesn't happen in the comfortable. It happens when we dare to step outside the box. Fear disguised as practicality keeps you small. How many times have you heard someone justify not going after their dreams because it's too risky or it's not practical? This is fear masking itself as logic. Fear of failure convinces us that the safe route is always the best option, even if it means sacrificing our passions or dreams. But in truth, failure isn't a defeat, it's a lesson. If you are not willing to risk failure, you are not really willing to live. The more you avoid fear, the less you live. Practicality often gives us the illusion of control, making us think that if we plan everything out and stick to the safe route, we're in charge of our destiny. But life is messy, unpredictable, and ever-changing. Trying to control every aspect of your life to avoid uncertainty is another form of fear, one that stops you from taking bold actions. Sometimes, you have to trust the unknown and let go of the illusion that you can control everything. True power comes from embracing uncertainty. Fear wrapped in practicality keeps you attached to old ways of thinking, old habits, and the past. It makes you believe that sticking with what you know is the only way to succeed, when in reality, the world is constantly evolving. Holding on to practicality keeps you from evolving and embracing new opportunities. The path to success is not paved by old formulas, it's paved by courage to reinvent, to disrupt, and to change. Taking the leap requires courage. Choosing the practical option is often the easiest route because it doesn't ask you to be vulnerable or to take risks. But if you want to live a life of impact and fulfillment, you have to get comfortable with discomfort. The path to your greatest achievements often involves letting go of practicality and taking bold leaps into the unknown. Only then can you experience growth, true success, and the freedom to live your potential. Purpose doesn't always align with practicality. In fact, purpose often requires you to do what others deem impractical, to challenge the norms, to question what's considered safe, to pursue your passion over a predictable outcome. When you start making decisions based on purpose, passion, and vision rather than what is practical, you unlock the ability to create a life full of meaning and fulfillment. Practicality is a safety net. Purpose is a catapult. The real challenge is to recognize when fear is holding you back in the form of practicality. The moment you can identify that hesitation is a fear-based decision, you can choose to let it go. It's not about throwing caution to the wind. It's about acting in spite of the fear, knowing that the only way to achieve greatness is to embrace risk. When you take action despite the fear disguised as practicality, you'll begin to realize that the magic lies outside the safe zone. The only way to truly live is to let go of the fear that disguises itself as practicality. Don't let fear hold you back under the guise of logic and reason. Take risks, follow your purpose, and move boldly in the direction of your dreams. Fear is the greatest obstacle to success, and practicality often hides it. Let go, and let your courage lead the way. Perfection is a myth. The conditions you're waiting for won't magically align, and the stars won't suddenly fall into place. The truth is, perfect conditions are a trap or reason to procrastinate. A justification to wait and delay action. The longer you wait, the longer you stay stuck. Waiting for the perfect time is often a way to avoid failure. You want everything to be just right before you take the first step. But in reality, perfection doesn't exist. The more you wait for it, the less progress you'll make. The first step is never perfect. It's just a step. You learn, adapt, and grow as you move forward. Action beats perfection every single time. There's no such thing as the right moment. Conditions will never be ideal, because life is unpredictable, filled with challenges and full of uncertainties. The perfect moment to launch your business, start your fitness journey, or chase the dream doesn't exist in the way you envision it. You will never have all the answers, and waiting for everything to be perfect will only keep you stagnant. Start with what you have, where you are, and make it work. Often, waiting for perfect conditions is rooted in fear of failure, fear of judgment, fear of making mistakes. But guess what? Mistakes are part of the journey. In fact, they're necessary. Success isn't about avoiding failure. It's about learning from it. Don't let fear of imperfection stop you from taking action. The more you push past that fear, the quicker you learn and evolve. When you wait for everything to be just right, you're essentially stagnating. Growth happens through action, not through waiting. It's in the doing, the experimenting, and the refining that you find your true potential. You'll never get better if you don't start. You can tweak and improve along the way, but only if you begin. Once you take action, you gain momentum. Momentum is a powerful force. It creates its own energy. The more you act, the more confident you become. It doesn't matter if you start imperfectly. What matters is that you start at all. Every small action compounds, and before you know it, you'll be miles ahead of where you'd be if you'd waited for the perfect conditions. Time is one of the most precious resources you have. If you're waiting for the perfect moment, you're wasting it. Every second you spend waiting is a second you could have spent making progress. The longer you wait, the more time you lose. You'll never get back those moments. So why not make the most of them right now? Instead of waiting for everything to be perfect, focus on progress. Progress is what moves you forward, and perfection isn't necessary for progress to happen. Small steps forward are more valuable than perfect steps that never happen. Each day, each action you take moves you closer to your goal. Perfect conditions won't come, but progress can. Right now. The time is now. Stop waiting for the perfect conditions and start where you are. With what you have, action, no matter how imperfect, is always the right choice. The perfect moment will never arrive, but you can create the perfect momentum by starting today. When pursuing your dreams, the road is often steep and filled with obstacles. Risk, pain, and struggle are inevitable parts of the journey. But the key to success is shifting your focus from what could go wrong to what could go right. The discomfort of the journey may be real, but it's nothing compared to the reward waiting at the finish line. Here's why focusing on the reward matters. The discomfort you feel during challenges is fleeting. It might feel heavy now, but it fades. However, the regret of not pushing through will haunt you for a lifetime if you focus on the reward. The sacrifice becomes worth it. Every ounce of effort you put in now brings you one step closer to something far greater than the pain. What feels painful or uncomfortable is often your growth in disguise. When you shift your attention to the reward, you realize that the pain is part of the process. It's pushing you, challenging you, and preparing you for bigger achievements. Without pain, there's no transformation. Embrace it and let it fuel your journey to success. Focusing on the reward is like a compass guiding you toward your destination. When you're laser focused on what you're working toward, every setback becomes a minor obstacle, not a roadblock. The bigger the reward, the easier it becomes to weather the storm. Keep your eyes on the prize, and the motivation to keep going will follow. The fear of risk, pain, or failure can hold you back from even trying. But when you focus on the reward, fear takes a back seat. You realize that the reward is far greater than the fear of failure. Every risk is an opportunity, and every painful moment is a step towards something worthwhile. Don't let fear paralyze you, let it propel you forward. Risk and pain are often present in the short term, but the reward is often something long-term: financial freedom, a healthier body, personal growth, or leaving a lasting legacy. When you focus on the bigger picture, those short-term sacrifices become easier to endure. The reward is what makes the journey worthwhile. The key to achieving great things is persistence. When you focus on the reward, you are less likely to quit when things get tough. Every setback or obstacle becomes a learning experience, not a reason to give up. It's the ones who push through the hardest times who often reap the biggest rewards. The mind is a powerful thing. What you focus on expands. If you focus on the pain and risk, you'll find more reasons to quit. But if you focus on the rewards, the success, the growth, the freedom, you'll keep moving forward. Your mind shapes your reality. So focus on the reward and the rest will follow. Having a clear vision of the reward gives your efforts purpose. It reminds you why you're working hard, why you're sacrificing, and why you're pushing through the tough times. It's the why that gives meaning to the process. When your why is bigger than the pain, you can endure anything. The reward is worth every bit of the risk and pain. By keeping your focus on the end goal, you can endure anything that comes your way. Let the reward drive your every step. And don't let temporary discomfort stop you. The path might not be easy, but the destination will make it all worthwhile. Excuses are like shields we use to protect ourselves from the fear of failure, rejection, or discomfort. When things get tough or when we face something we don't want to do, we often justify our actions or inactions with excuses. But in reality, excuses aren't solutions, they're barriers. They're often justifications to mask the deeper fear we don't want to face. Here's why excuses are rooted in fear. At the heart of most excuses lies the fear of failure. We are afraid that if we try and don't succeed, we'll feel inadequate. So instead of risking failure, we justify inaction with excuses. But the truth is, failure is not the end, it's a stepping stone to growth. Every failure brings with it lessons that lead to success. Sometimes, we make excuses because we fear what others will think. What if people judge us for failing? What if they think we're not good enough? We fear rejection or ridicule, so we justify our lack of action with reasons that sound good to others, but not to ourselves. But the only opinion that truly matters is your own. And your real critics are the ones that will never hold you back, they'll help you rise stronger. Change is hard, and the unknown can be terrifying. It's easy to make excuses to stay in the safety of what's familiar, but the unknown is where growth happens. Every new challenge, every new opportunity is a step into the realm of the unknown. If we never take that step, we'll never know what we could have achieved. Surprisingly, many people fear success because it comes with its own set of responsibilities, pressures, and expectations. We fear we won't be able to handle it, or that success will change us in ways we're not prepared for. Excuses mask this fear, as it's easier to stay comfortable where we are than to face the demands that success brings. We often make excuses because we don't want to be inconvenienced or put ourselves out there. Hard work, effort, and sacrifice are uncomfortable, and they require discipline. The fear of discomfort leads to excuses like "I'll do it later" or "it's too hard right now." But discomfort is temporary, it's the discomfort of growth. And that's what shapes you into who you're meant to be. When you keep justifying your actions, you stop taking responsibility for your life. Excuses keep you in a state of stagnation because they give you a way out from facing the truth you're afraid. When you stop making excuses, you start taking control of your life and your future. You face the fear head on, and you move forward. When you stop hiding behind excuses and confront the underlying fear, you open yourself up to true freedom and success. It's the moment when you accept that fear will always be there, but you decide that it won't dictate your actions. By facing your fears and moving through them, you step into a life of possibility. Excuses are not your truth. They're a shield against the fears you haven't yet conquered. Instead of justifying why you can't move forward, ask yourself what you're truly afraid of and face it. The real growth happens when you push past fear, not when you hide behind excuses. So, the next time you catch yourself making excuses, pause and ask, what am I really afraid of? The comfort zone is a trap. It's the place where everything feels safe, familiar, and predictable. It's the space where we feel in control, free from the risks of failure or judgment. But here's the hard truth. Nothing grows in the comfort zone. Growth demands discomfort, challenge, and the willingness to step into the unknown. The longer you stay in your comfort zone, the more you become complacent. You start to believe that the status quo is enough. But comfort breeds mediocrity. When you don't stretch yourself, you don't evolve. Growth happens when you disrupt that complacency. Stepping out of your comfort zone means embracing change, and change is inherently uncomfortable. Fear of failure, uncertainty, and the unknown often hold people back. But change is the only constant, and the longer you resist it, the more you stay stuck in the same place. The comfort zone is a place of stagnation. You can't improve by doing the same thing over and over. To level up in life, you have to take risks, embrace challenges, and push yourself past what you think you're capable of. This is where real growth happens. Real growth requires pushing yourself into unfamiliar territory. Whether it's taking on a difficult project, learning a new skill, or facing a fear, it's the discomfort that forces you to adapt and improve. The struggle is where strength is forged. The more you step out of your comfort zone, the more you learn. Each challenge you face builds new perspectives and skills. It's in the discomfort of trying something new that you discover your true capabilities and unlock new potential. The discomfort you experience in the face of adversity doesn't break you, it builds you. Every obstacle you overcome makes you stronger, more resilient, and more capable of handling the next challenge. Without discomfort, there is no growth. Embrace it as a necessary part of the journey. Your true potential lies outside of your comfort zone. If you never push yourself, you will never realize how much you're truly capable of achieving. The discomfort you feel when taking on challenges is a sign that you're expanding your limits, and that's how you reach new heights. It's in the moments when you're uncomfortable that you often have your biggest breakthroughs. When you're forced to innovate, solve problems, deal with adversity, your mind works in ways it never would in the comfort zone. Those are the moments that lead to massive personal growth. Confidence doesn't come from staying where it's safe. It's built when you overcome challenges, learn new things, and prove to yourself that you're capable of more than you thought. Each time you step out of your comfort zone, you gain more confidence in your ability to handle what comes next. You don't need to make huge leaps immediately. Start by doing small things that challenge you, whether it's speaking up in a meeting, trying a new workout, or learning something unfamiliar. Each small challenge pushes you further out of your comfort zone. Take opportunities that you might normally shy away from. Say yes to things that scare you, whether it's taking on a new project at work, traveling somewhere unfamiliar, or initiating a difficult conversation. These are the actions that create growth. Instead of seeing discomfort as something to avoid, see it as a signal of growth. Embrace discomfort as the catalyst for change. When you feel discomfort, recognize it as a sign that you're on the verge of becoming something more. Growth doesn't happen overnight. It requires consistent effort to get comfortable with being uncomfortable. Keep pushing, keep striving. And remember that discomfort is the soil in which your growth will flourish. Fear is often the root of discomfort. When you feel afraid, that's the signal that you're on the edge of growth. Face that fear, step into it, and watch yourself grow in ways you never imagined. Comfort zones are the enemies of progress. If you want to grow, achieve more, and become who you're meant to be, you must learn to embrace discomfort. Stop avoiding challenges and instead actively seek them out. Growth demands discomfort, but on the other side of that discomfort is the life and success you've always dreamed of. The journey of life is not a static one. Every season, every phase of your life calls for a different version of you, old versions of yourself. The person you are at different stages are important, but they must evolve to keep pace with the ever-changing challenges, lessons, and opportunities that life throws at you. Why evolving is crucial. Life constantly demands growth. The person you were a year ago or even a month ago is not the person you are today. Your experiences, knowledge, and mindset should shape a better version of you every day. The old versions of yourself exist to help you build, not to hold you back. Success in one season doesn't guarantee success in the next. The skills and mindset that got you here might not be enough to get you to the next level. To evolve, you must shed outdated habits, beliefs, and limitations. Each season of life requires a new level of mastery. Change is uncomfortable. Evolving requires letting go of who you were so you can become who you're meant to be. The tension between your past self and the person you're becoming is where real transformation happens. Embrace the discomfort, it's part of the process. Sometimes, you get attached to the person you used to be, the comfort of familiar habits, old achievements, or even past pain. But holding on to old versions of yourself can keep you stagnant. Change is necessary for progress. If you keep clinging to the past, you'll miss the opportunities of today. No version of yourself is the final version. You are constantly evolving, growing, and improving. Every new challenge, every new opportunity is an invitation to become a better version of yourself. The journey doesn't end, it's continuous, and each season requires a shift in mindset, strategy, and action. Every version of yourself, even the one that went through hard times, has a lesson to teach you. Your past failures and setbacks didn't defeat you, they prepared you. If you embrace them and use them for growth, they make you stronger, wiser, and more resilient. How to evolve with every season? To evolve, you must release old habits, old thoughts, and even old people who no longer serve your growth. Embrace the new season by freeing yourself from outdated beliefs and limitations. Let go of what no longer fits and make space for the new version of yourself. Life constantly offers new lessons. If you're not growing, you're stagnating. Read, listen, and seek out knowledge that will propel you to the next level. Every season brings new lessons and skills for you to master. Don't fear change, embrace it. Change doesn't mean you're losing something, it means you're gaining more of what's meant for you. When you learn to adapt to change, you learn to thrive in any season. Setbacks are just temporary detours on your path. Instead of viewing them as failures, see them as opportunities to rework your approach. The challenges of today will shape the greatness of tomorrow. Your goals should evolve with each season of life. If you're still chasing the same goals you set years ago, it might be time for an update. Set fresh, ambitious goals that challenge you to evolve. Goals should grow as you do. With every phase of life, your purpose should adapt. The passion and drive that fueled you in one season should shift to fuel new challenges in the next. Purpose gives you direction and meaning in each new chapter of life. Don't just discard who you were in the past. Each old version of yourself helped bring you to where you are now. Celebrate your growth by acknowledging how far you've come. But don't get stuck in the past. Use that momentum to keep moving forward. Old versions of yourself should not be seen as obstacles, but as stepping stones. They represent where you've been and what you've learned. However, to unlock your full potential, you must evolve with every season of your life. Each chapter requires a new mindset, new skills, new energy. Embrace your growth, celebrate your progress, and prepare for the next evolution of yourself. The best is yet to come. Toxic relationships, whether they're with family, friends, partners, or colleagues, can slowly erode your sense of self, your confidence, and your happiness. They come with manipulation, gaslighting, criticism, and emotional exhaustion. The impact of these relationships isn't always immediately visible, but over time, the effects can be devastating. Toxic people demand more than they give. You're constantly pouring your energy into trying to please them or manage their emotional outbursts. Over time, this leaves you feeling empty, drained, and defeated. Your own needs and well-being take a backseat, and you lose sight of who you are. Toxic people often distort reality to make you feel like you're the problem. Gaslighting, where someone manipulates you into questioning your own reality, is a common tactic. This undermines your self-trust and causes you to doubt your own feelings, decisions, and intuition. A toxic relationship can trap you in a cycle of negativity and emotional dependency. Instead of helping you grow, they hold you back, keeping you tethered to their dysfunction. They often encourage you to settle for less, dismiss your aspiration, or belittle your progress. They want you to remain small so they can feel secure. Healthy relationships are built on mutual respect and understanding. Toxic people will disregard your boundaries, demanding more of your time, energy, and attention than you can afford to give. They may also impose their beliefs, push you to do things you're uncomfortable with, or manipulate you into feeling guilty for saying no. In toxic relationships, abuse, whether emotional, mental, or physical, can become the norm. Small insults, put-downs, or controlling behavior are often brushed off as just how things are over time. You start to accept this behavior, making it harder to recognize what's truly unhealthy. The role of self-pity. Self-pity often rises when we feel trapped or victimized by our circumstances, and it often intertwines with toxic relationships. It's the mindset of feeling sorry for yourself, believing that you're powerless or incapable of change. While it's natural to feel hurt, staying in self-pity can be toxic in itself. Self-pity can lead you to identify as a victim of your circumstances or the people around you. When you see yourself as a victim, you lose your sense of agency and power. You begin to feel like you're incapable of changing your situation or breaking free from the toxic relationships that are holding you back. Self-pity makes it easier to tolerate toxic relationships. You start believing that you don't deserve better or that things will never change. So you stay in the cycle of abuse, dysfunction, or emotional neglect. You tell yourself that you have no other options and continue to accept behavior that isn't serving you. When you get caught in self-pity, you begin to see yourself through the lens of weakness, failure, or inadequacy. This distorts your sense of self-worth and reinforces the toxic messages you may be receiving from others. Instead of recognizing your strength and potential, you start believing the lies about yourself, breaking free from toxic relationships and self-pity. You are not defined by the toxic people in your life. Your worth is intrinsic, and it does not rely on others' opinions or behaviors. Start by recognizing that you deserve respect, love, and kindness, and never let anyone treat you less than what you're worth. Boundaries are your protection. Learn to say no, enforce your limits, and protect your time and energy. Don't let toxic people manipulate you into crossing your boundaries. Establishing clear boundaries can help you regain control of your life and free yourself from emotional abuse. You are not a victim, you're a survivor. Let go of self-pity and take responsibility for your own life and healing. Understand that while toxic people may have hurt you, they do not get to define you. Choose empowerment over victimhood. Start looking for solutions. Instead of staying stuck in the problem, remove toxic influences from your life. Surround yourself with people who lift you up, who respect you, and who believe in your potential. Seek out supportive and positive relationships that encourage your growth. These connections will help you see your own strength and remind you of your worth. It's okay to acknowledge your pain, but don't let it become your identity. Be kind to yourself. Understand that healing takes time, but don't let past mistakes, guilt, or self-pity define your future. Treat yourself with the same compassion you would offer to a close friend who's struggling. You have the power to make changes in your life. Start small, but take consistent steps toward breaking free from toxic relationships. Whether it's setting boundaries, having difficult conversations, or seeking professional help, action is the key to reclaiming your life. Stop waiting for others to change. Take charge of your own healing. If you feel trapped in a toxic relationship or struggle with self-pity, don't hesitate to seek help. Therapists, coaches, or support groups can provide guidance as you navigate through these challenges. You don't have to face this alone. Toxic relationships and self-pity are two forces that can keep you stuck in cycles of negativity and dysfunction. Breaking free from both requires self-awareness, courage, and action. Stop letting toxic people control your life, and stop letting self-pity define your future. You are stronger than you think, and you deserve relationships that uplift you, not drag you down. Take back your power, rewrite your story, and choose a life of growth, respect, and love. Pride and ego can be powerful forces that drive us, but if not kept in check, they can become major obstacles to growth and success. These traits, while often celebrated in society as symbols of strength and confidence, can also hinder authentic progress. Let's explore how pride and ego interfere with true advancement and how you can overcome them. The dangers of pride and ego. Pride can cause you to overestimate your abilities or ignore areas where you need to improve. Ego makes it difficult to acknowledge weaknesses or flaws, because doing so feels like an attack on your identity. Without honest self-reflection, growth becomes impossible. Pride often blinds you to your own shortcomings and the need for continuous learning. True confidence comes from a place of self-assurance and humility, while ego-driven arrogance stems from insecurity. People with a strong ego often put on a facade to protect themselves from vulnerability. This arrogance can lead to alienation, misunderstandings, and missed opportunities for collaboration or learning. Humility allows for true learning, while ego limits your ability to adapt. When pride and ego are in charge, you see criticism as a personal attack, rather than constructive feedback. If you're unable to handle criticism or feedback, you'll never improve. The refusal to listen to others or accept new perspectives can stunt your growth, making you complacent in your ways. The willingness to learn from others is a cornerstone of progress. Ego doesn't want to be wrong. It wants to protect its image at all costs. This fear of failure, driven by pride, can prevent you from taking risks or pursuing opportunities. You avoid doing things that could lead to failure, and in turn, you miss out on valuable experiences that are essential for growth. Real progress is often found in the lessons learned through failure. Ego often leads to a mindset of competition, not cooperation. Instead of lifting others up, pride pushes you to constantly prove you're better, leading to toxic rivalry. True growth happens when you collaborate and learn from others. Not when you see everyone around you as competition. Pride prevents you from recognizing that. Success isn't a zero-sum game, there's enough for everyone. Ego-driven actions are often about self-serving motives, which can cloud your true intentions, whether it's for validation, status, or recognition. You may act in ways that aren't aligned with your values or true purpose. Progress becomes hollow when driven by ego, because it focuses on external rewards rather than genuine internal fulfillment, overcoming pride and ego for real progress. Humility is the antidote to pride, recognizing that no matter how successful you become, there is always room for improvement, and there is always more to learn. A humble mindset allows you to be open to growth, feedback, and development. Admit your weaknesses and work on them with dedication and openness. Real progress is a journey of learning, and pride stops the journey dead in its tracks. Embrace the fact that you don't know everything, and there's always more to discover. Seek knowledge from others, be it through books, experiences, or conversations with people who have different perspectives. Approach life with a learner's mindset, ready to evolve and adapt. Criticism isn't a reflection of your worth, it's an opportunity to improve. Instead of letting your pride take offense, learn to listen without defensiveness. Criticism is a powerful tool for growth. It helps you see what you can see about yourself and what you can improve. View it as a gift, not a threat. When ego drives you, you seek recognition, approval, and applause. Shift your focus to purpose. Why are you doing what you're doing? Is it about elevating yourself, or is it about a larger impact or service? True progress happens when you're driven by purpose, not external validation. Let go of the mindset that everyone around you is a competitor. Work with others to elevate each other. When you collaborate, you learn from their experiences, gain new insights, and together you create something greater than you could have alone. Teamwork leads to more growth than constantly competing against others. Letting go of pride means allowing yourself to be vulnerable. You don't have to have all the answers, and you don't have to appear perfect. Vulnerability fosters connection and trust with others. And it also allows you to face your own flaws with courage. Embrace vulnerability as a strength, not weakness. Self-awareness is key to managing your ego. Regularly reflect on your actions, thoughts, and emotions. Ask yourself, what is driving me today? Am I seeking validation, or am I focused on my goals? Regular introspection will help you stay grounded and aware of when pride or ego might be sneaking into your decision-making. Pride and ego, when unchecked, hold us back from authentic progress and growth. They fuel insecurity, block learning, and keep us stuck in unhealthy patterns. True success comes when we let go of the need to protect our image, embrace vulnerability, and put aside competition in favor of collaboration. By adopting humility, a willingness to learn, and a focus on purpose, we can break free from the constraints of ego and unlock our full potential. Real progress requires self-awareness, openness, and a constant commitment to growth, traits that pride and ego try to block. Success doesn't come overnight. It's not about one lucky break or a massive leap forward. It's about consistent, relentless effort every single day. If you're serious about changing your life, you have to make a decision. Either rise with purpose or keep hitting snooze on your potential. Wake up early, even at 3 a.m. if you must. Waking up early isn't just about having more hours in the day, it's about owning your time before the world demands it from you. When the world is quiet, your mind is sharp. The distractions are gone. The noise is silenced. That's when real progress is made. You don't need to wake up at 3 a.m. forever, but sometimes you do what it takes. Because greatness isn't built on convenience, it's built on commitment. Champions don't wait until it feels easy. They sacrifice comfort to build discipline. Early mornings are where mental toughness is forged. While others are sleeping, you're building. While they scroll, you sculpt. While they delay, you decide. That's how winners are made in the hours no one else is willing to use. Be just 1% better every day. You don't have to overhaul your life overnight. You just need to get 1% better every day. That may not sound like much, but over time, it compounds into massive transformation. Read one more page. Do one more rep. Wake up 1 minute earlier. Eat one cleaner meal. Make one better decision. That's it. 1%. 1% better every day means 37x better in a year. Not because you made one big move, but because you showed up daily and refused to quit. Most people are chasing the big win. But it's the small, daily victories that build empires. The mindset shift. Don't wait to feel motivated. Move without it. Don't wait for approval. Believe without it. Don't wait for the right time. Make the time. Success respects consistency. Discipline beats talent when talent doesn't show up. You won't always feel like grinding, but do it anyway. That's where power is built. Rise and grind. Not just in the gym or in business, but in your mindset, your focus, your attitude. Get uncomfortable. Wake up before the world expects anything from you. And every single day, just get a little bit better. Because 1% every day will take you places 100% motivation once a month never could. Winners don't obsess over the cost, they obsess over the mission. If you're constantly checking the price of sacrifice, you are not ready for greatness. The real ones, they pay without flinching. They show up daily, especially when it's hard. Because for them, it's not about comfort, it's about becoming unstoppable. If you want to rise, you can't keep checking the receipt. Growth demands more than talent. It demands pain, sweat, discipline, and the courage to do what others won't. You're not owed success just because you want it. You earn it when you stop complaining and start committing. No one remembers the one who almost gave it their all. The world respects the one who gave everything even when it hurt. Beast mode isn't about motivation, it's about identity. It's who you become when you push through exhaustion. It's who you are when no one's watching. It's the mindset that says, I don't stop, I adapt. I don't break, I grow. While others look forward to breaks, you look forward to breaking limits. You're either building momentum or giving it away. There is no middle ground. You won't always feel it. You won't always love it. But if you keep showing up, you'll keep leveling up. Champions are built in the mundane, in the reps, in the lonely hours, in the skipped parties, the early mornings, and the silent victories no one claps for. It's not about being perfect. It's about being present every day. The outcome is not your job, the effort is. You can't control the scoreboard, but you can control how hard you train, how locked in you stay, how quickly you bounce back, obsess over effort. And the results will chase you down. Don't count the cost, just pay it. Stay in beast mode, no matter how you feel. Take no days off from being your best. And when in doubt, show up, grind hard, and focus on the work, because consistency always wins in the end. You want it. Prove it every single day. Everyone wants the reward if you are willing to study the game. You want more pay, more respect, more opportunities. Then stop waiting for the promotion and start earning it through performance. Study your work. Know what you're doing and how. Don't just clock in. Dial in. Understand every detail of what you do. Know the purpose behind every move. Study the systems, study the grades. Know the difference between activity and impact. Pros don't wing it, they own their craft. Critique your performance. Be your own harshest coach. You only want praise, you'll never improve. Every champion watches their game tape. They look for the cracks, the lazy habits, the missed opportunities, and they fix them. If you want to dominate in your lane, you must become a brutally honest mirror. Ask daily, was that my best? Or just enough to get by? Reflect often. Evaluate where you are and where you're going. Don't just track your trajectory. Are you moving with purpose? Are you becoming sharper or just busier? Are you working hard on the right things? Weekly reflection beats yearly regret. Stop expecting promotions without increased performance. Title doesn't come before performance. Ever, if you haven't leveled up your skill set, your habits, and your output, why should anyone hand you more? Your value isn't based on time served, it's based on results delivered. Increase your performance to increase your pay and responsibility. You don't need to beg for a recognition, you need to become Andinia. Well, let your work speak louder than your words. Let your results put you in rooms you assume never could. You want more, then become more. Sharpen your skills, deepen your impact, raise your standards, because in the real world, performance is the loudest resume. You can't keep everything and expect to grow. Greatness is built on sacrifice of time, comfort, and outdated versions of yourself. No more binge watching, mindless scrolling, or just chilling. Every hour you waste is a brick you didn't lay in your future. Winners don't have more time, they just trade it better. You're not too busy. You're just not focused. Replace distractions with discipline. Replace entertainment with execution. Wake up before the world. Train when others rest. Stay consistent when motivation fades. Growth doesn't live in comfort zones. It's built in the early hours, the sore muscles. The days you want to quit but don't. Comfort is a cage. Sacrifice is the key. Old beliefs won't take you to new heights. If your vision has grown, you must grow too. That means dropping excuses, shedding fear, and silencing the voice that says, I've done enough. Every next level of your life will demand a different you. You want to rise. Then something has to fall. Your excuses, your distractions, your old self. Sacrifice now, or regret later. But you can't have both. The life you want isn't free. The future is expensive. It demands your time, your energy, and your comfort daily. No excuses, only decisions if it's truly important to you. You'll stop making excuses and start making moves. Excuses are just lies dressed up in logic. Winners don't negotiate with laziness. They don't wait for the perfect day, they create it. The prize goes to the relentless. It's not talent. It's not luck. It's work hard, consistent, and glamorous work. The prize goes to the hardest worker in the room, period. You don't need permission, you need hunger. You've got a destiny, don't die in distraction. You weren't born to scroll your life away. You weren't made to just exist, you were meant to rise. Don't let comfort rob you of your calling. Destiny is real, but so is regret. Don't settle in misery when you were built for more. Flip the switch, keep it on. You don't need another motivational video. You need to decide, right here, right now. Turn your switch on and never let it flicker. The grind owes you nothing, but your future owes you everything if you pay the price today. Victory isn't handed out, it's earned, bled for, and re-earned every single day. Stop waiting, stop doubting. You're not missing anything, you're just not using everything. You already have what you need. Start now. The tools are in your hands. The decision is in your mind. Average is crowded. Phenomenal is lonely. That's where you belong. But you'll never get there casually. You must outthink, outwork, and outlast the rest. Mediocrity is a habit. So is greatness. Choose your rhythm. Not the fastest. Not the strongest. The most committed. Champions aren't made by talent, they're made by refusal to quit. Get up. Lock in. Go again. And you'll win. Every rep. Every hour. Every breath. And when the world sleeps, you grind. You rise. You become phenomenal. If this hit your soul, don't just scroll subscribe and turn wisdom into winning. Your future self will thank you.